Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ryan here, giving my thoughts on the TLC pay-per-view that just occurred. I was in attendance live. I just got home a couple of minutes ago, so I kind of want to give my take and what it was like. Maybe, it was a little bit different for those watching at TV. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of the actual WWE like pay-per-view footage. I just basically have what I know from seeing it live. So I'm just gonna kind of give my thoughts, kind of a rundown, what I thought about each match, and then, overall, I'll start with what I thought about it overall. I thought it was a okay show. I think that's the best way to put it. I don't usually like to put like a number rating on it. I would just say that it was, slightly above okay, good-ish. Definitely not great, but still a fun show to be in attendance for. So they opened with the pre-show match was Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, which the match itself I actually thought was a good match, and the crowd was into it. The crowd really was into Sasha, but I think it was a big mistake to open with that promo. I mean, if their goal was to get people to boo Sasha, then I guess you can say this succeeded, because I feel like everybody was just ready for a match, and they did this promo and nobody wanted anything to do with it. But the thing is, we're kind of in this gray area now with all the divas, like, especially with, Charlotte and Paige. But Team Bad, I think they're supposed to be face now. If they're supposed to be face, then they didn't do good, and if they're supposed to be bad guys, well, then they succeeded. I mean, obviously with Sasha cheating to win the match, getting help from Team Bad, I guess it makes sense that they're heels now. So maybe mission accomplished, but I think the crowd really wanted to cheer for Sasha, and they still did for the most part. But I don't know. That promo was weird. But either way, solid match. Sasha gets the win. So they open up the actual proper pay-per-view with the tag team triangle ladder match, which I think for the most part I would consider that match of the night. It had some missteps in ring psychology, if I could be smarky for a moment. But the New Day had the biggest pop of the night. I think the crowd was chanting, the New Day rocks or sucks. You can't tell sometimes, but I'm assuming it was rocks. But they were chanting that before the show even started. That's a chant that's usually kind of reserved for the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." At least that's how it is in Boston. But it was all about the New Day before the start of the show, and they got a huge pop when their music hit, or when Big E started talking even. And that match, I thought, had a lot of high spots. There was one moment, and I don't know, I'm sure TV made it look a little bit better, but basically when the Lucha Dragons did they were both on the turnbuckles and they flipped out and hit the two members of the New Day, you had both teams seemingly out and on the ground. Meanwhile, you have the Usos standing in the middle of the ring with the ladder properly put up in the middle of the ring, and they decide to fold up the ladder and throw it to the outside, when all logic would tell you that they should go and just win the match right there. And obviously that would make for a bad match, but like, you need to dance around things like that. You can't, if you put yourself in that position where it seems like these guys are morons for not going for the belts, then you should probably have, a different scenario where at least one member from the other team is around to stop them, so they have an excuse to throw the ladder out and dive to the outside or whatever. That was just like a huge logical leap that was hard for me to get over. I like, normally, yeah, I get it. Sometimes, they're doing it for the sake of the fun, action and all that, but you really shouldn't have it so that people are basically thinking you're just stupid for not just trying to win the match. You have to remember that it's supposed to be a competition. That was my one gripe, but there was a lot of excellent spots in that match, and it still ended up being the match of the night. I mean, Kalisto, man, I forget what that move's called, but damn, off the ladder, and just, I don't know how his legs and lower area are after that, but that was a hell of a spot, and just a great match. So then things just kind of took a dip for the worse with the Rusev Ryback match. People weren't really that into. It was so. It was fine for what it was. Then we had Del Rio Swagger, which was definitely better. People were getting into it. Everyone always loves the We the People. I did enjoy the steel chair ankle lock spot. I thought was a nice touch, and but I think the crowd really came back for the Wyatt family versus Team ECW match. I thought that was a pretty good match. The Wyatts finally getting a win, so I was right with that prediction that finally the Wyatts can get a victory, because Vince McMahon, the only thing he likes jobbing on more than the Wyatt family is ECW and WCW type guys. So obviously ECW take the loss, but I thought it was great. The tease with the flaming table, I feel like that's going to pay off at some point down the line, because you can't just do something like that. Like, every time, usually when WWE, they will pull out the flaming table spot every once in a while. So I figured if they were going to tease it, that was actually going to happen. So I feel like something's going to happen down the line where they actually do that flaming table, because the crowd was so ready for it, and then they just took it away. But either way, a dominant match. I mean, I saw that big old table in the back. I'm pretty sure everyone was expecting Braun Strowman to go through it, but no, they just had a dominant victory. So congrats to the Wyatt family for finally getting a much needed pay-per-view win, and hopefully many more for them. So next we had Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. I thought this match was pretty good, and the crowd was definitely into both of these guys. So, I mean, this is a match where I think people were going to be happy no matter who won. But the crowd really, really popped when Dean Ambrose won the title, because I think nobody was really expecting it, and it was an awesome match. Like, they did a good job of, Kevin Owens just couldn't hit that pop-up power bomb. Ambrose kept getting out of it, and then he finally just kind of rolled him up to get that win. So that was cool to see. Charlotte and Paige, the crowd was for this match. I think at this point, this is when you're getting tired, and this is when they're just trying to get people into the main event, so maybe they're a little bit more calm. But of course, Charlotte continues her new heel ways, being with Ric Flair. I think I enjoyed Ric Flair just kind of dancing around at the end most of all, but I thought this match was still pretty good for what it was. And now it's clear that they're kind of building something with Becky Lynch, which I really like, with that backstage segment. So hopefully, either we get some sort of triple threat feud. I don't know if Paige is out of the picture for now, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And then we get to the main event. This was an interesting one. So it was a TLC match. Sheamus versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The crowd definitely liked to boo Sheamus, and Roman Reigns definitely got a mixed reaction at best. And as soon as the match started, now normally the main events that I've been to, especially for pay-per-views, like the crowd is really hyped up and getting their cheers in at the beginning. But things, as soon as that bell rung, it's almost like everyone kind of realized, like, oh yeah, this is our main event, and I don't really care about it that much, which, I tried to get into it, and I thought, it definitely had some spots that the crowd came alive for, but, they would come up and then they'd go right back down. It's like they couldn't keep people into it, and there was some brutal spots there, and I really, I feel bad when, you get these performers that, we all love to see on TV, and they're in this brutal match and they can't get the crowd into it, even though they're taking so much punishment. Like, I definitely give these guys credit. They did what they could, but yeah, it was the quietest TLC match I've ever witnessed, and the quietest main event that I've been a part of on a pay-per-view. So that was kind of sad to see, but definitely they made up for it with the whole Triple H thing at the end. So obviously Roman Reigns, after he loses, he beats up the League of Nations. Then Triple H comes into the ring, and Reigns he Superman punches him. He starts beating the hell out of him with a chair, and he does like a spine buster. Oh no, he tried to do like a power bomb. He just kind of set it up weird, and then elbow drops him through the announce table. So once Reigns just kind of went into ass kicker mode, and it was Triple H. This is a guy in the Authority that people have wanted to see get beat up for a while, even though the Authority haven't really built up a ton of like heat. Wrestling fans don't know how to use that word, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. Except obviously Survivor Series and whatever. Reigns is kind of, I guess we're probably leading towards a Roman Reigns Triple H feud anyway. So it's been a while since we've seen. Actually, why am I saying it's been a while? He speared Triple H at Survivor Series, so never mind. But basically, Triple H is the guy people like to see beat up because the Authority's been around forever, and Reigns, like, people started chanting "Thank you, Reigns" and all that. Roman Reigns, like, all the chants came around once he was beating up Triple H, because I think this is the Reigns we really want to see, which is just beating the hell out of people mercilessly. And not caring. He's not trying to be the nice guy. He just is going to spear the crap out of people, hit people with chairs, put them through tables, whatever. But the crowd ate this up, so this was like the redemption for the main event. Because I mean, the TLC match, like after it, I was kind of surprised it ended so quickly. It felt very short. But either way, that last ending bit really made up for everything. So, like I said, overall, TLC was a good pay-per-view, not great, and I'm interested to see what happens tomorrow on Raw. And of course, we'll, Juan and Keith will give their take on what TLC was like from their perspectives, as well as we'll give our thoughts on Raw. All of that on the podcast Tuesday night. So I will see you guys then. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel if you have not already. Check out the rest of our content that's on there. And like I said, podcast this Tuesday, thoughts on TLC and Raw. So I will see you guys then.